Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, SeKo Starcraft, bringing you one of his amateur BS replays, and at the same time, I'm going to talk a little bit about the patches that did get approved for Starcraft. In the background is going to just be one of my games. There's actually a qualifier for, I think it's Season 5 or 6, whatever it is, for the Starcraft ladder. I'm going up against Capting in the bottom left, and I did play as random, but I'm also as Terran in the top left. If I had to guess, when I play random, I would, at least like half the time, if not more, I end up playing as Terran. I'm not too sure why. Maybe the Blizzard gods know that I prefer my Terran buddies here. Anywho, Terran versus Terran, so it gives us a little bit of an opportunity to understand a bit more about the changes that are going to happen, which a lot of them are happening to the Terran race. I'm going to speed it up just slightly at the beginning here because it's a 4-player map. It's one of the new maps. I forgot to change my map settings. I generally don't like 4-player maps. You're going to see why in this game, but ultimately that's what I don't really want to do. So starting off with, we're going to start with the Terran updates because this is a Terran versus Terran. One of the most notable ones coming in here is just how they're trying to change up the Widow Mine and Mech style of play, and trying to get, the bio as an option, but also have Mech as an option for the different matchups that exist. Going Mech in Terran versus Terran has been there for a while, but it's more important when it goes against Zerg. And yeah, you guys can make your own decisions as to about what's going on here. You can see back up in my base, I'm teching while he's got the. You can see from the production tab what he's building. Now, what's very important and what's very interesting to me is they combined the vehicle and ship weapons as they said they were going to. I did put out a video a little while ago about what Blizzard planned to do with the patches, and just about every single one of them, from what I can see, has come true. And now that I'm looking at this list here in front of me, the combination of vehicle and ship and ground weapons from Mech being combined in the same one, I actually think is very interesting. It's going to help me out a ton because I love playing Mech, but I just don't think that was really that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. I don't think that was what was stopping people from playing Mech. It doesn't stop Zerg players from going Mutalisk just because they're upgrade trees on a different path. And you could say that it'd even be more valuable for them to be able to get an upgrade joining, like the Carapace or something like that, as opposed to what we see from the Terran side on the Mech things. So we should be enjoying it pretty good there. Units-wise, he is kicking my ass pretty good in economy. But I see what he's doing now. I see the barracks. Did see the Reaper. I'm going to get a highlight the Reaper. We see what kind of kills he's going to get. Siege tank attack period from 3 to 2.8. It was originally discussed as 3 to 2.7. Was what what Blizzard originally predicted. So this is a slight little bit of a change over what was originally thought. I don't think it's too big of a deal. That's a lot of Reapers. The siege tank fire rate, it's a pretty big deal. It's a defensive and an offensive weapon just to make sure it can't get bum rushed as easily. And siege tanks shoot pretty fast in the grand scheme of things. Particularly those people who play Broodlord will know that siege tanks used to shoot pretty damn slow. Widow Mines, the Widow Mine damage. I'm going to post an overlay here. You'll probably be able to see because it's a little bit too difficult for me to just try to explain. Ah, eat shit. 4 kill already. Oh man, that's sad. Anyways, with the Widow Mine splash damage. Apparently, it's going to be keeping that 40 base damage within a 1.25 radius, true splash, 20 damage from 1.25 to 1.5, and then 10 damage from 1.5 to 1.75. So essentially, that just means that the radius of true damage is going to be smaller, but it's still going to do damage just in a dwindling effect as it goes out from there. And that's okay. I think that's a perfectly reasonable way to do things. Someone's actually doing pretty good on that there economy compared to me. So that's going to change things a bit. We'll see. I've got to watch a few pro replays where people are using Widow Mine still just to be able to get a better understanding of what effect that is going to have on the game. We're going to find out soon enough. I'm going for Widow Mine drops. Guess you'd like that. I haven't done Widow Mine drops in forever. So anyways, that's the Terran landscape. Pushing more towards the Mech. trying to decrease the Widow Mine a little bit. We're going to see what the Widow Mine actually does here in the next little while. We should be able to get a better understanding. This guy scanned me so many times, it was ridiculous. And you will have noticed that I don't have the tech lab on the starport for Banshees at this point. Units-wise, he is doing pretty good on economy again. Alright, on to the next thing, which is the Zerg Roach speed when they are tunneling. Tunneling clause goes from 1.41 up to 2. I think that's slightly decreased over what they originally planned. I don't remember the exact number originally. But the intention of that is to just use Roach Burrow more often as a counter weapon. And you're seeing that if you play Protoss, and even sometimes Terran Mech, you're starting to see a lot more people that are playing Roach style with Burrow, specifically because it does have these really great advantages when it comes to getting underneath massive amounts of units. He smartly pulls away all of his units there. We're going to be able to see Widow Mine damage. Does it say about it in there? It doesn't. Oh, it's in there somewhere. They did a pretty good job of splitting up some of his units there so that the Widow Mines didn't do too much damage. I do try to run away with my medevac, but it will run into this missile turret, unfortunately. Which is interesting, and now that I know that that's down there. He didn't remember, though, that the Widow Mine's still up here. Widow Mines. Come on, Widow Mines. You'll see the great thing about doing this kind of harass is gases aren't even being that taken right now. They're both pretty open. I've killed 7 workers to his 4. Eat poop. And I've got my expansion going at home. And I'm getting down lots of missile turrets myself just because it's too easy for me to think people can drop on this map. Alright, the last race they're talking about is the Protoss. And the only thing that changed was the Oracle. Wow, I got off a lot of kills. I should have left this guy burrowed. I thought I was going to be able to pick him up and move him. Ah, one more shot would have did great. Did I get a couple more kills? Oh, just one more. That's alright. I did lose a medevac and some marines in there. But all in all, I thought that actually turned out pretty effective. And I have tanks in position here, so he can't really bum rush me. I'm surprised that's not... Is that in range? There we go. Get shot in the face. The Oracles, now what they're saying is that units... You know, the movement speed's going to go up. The acceleration speed of the Oracle is going to go up. And that just means, as a Terran player, make sure you defend yourself against the Oracles. You got to have 5 or 6 Marines out if you're not going to have a missile turret down. Or get a Widow Mine sitting in your mineral line to take care of that. Because it's just way too crappy. You lose so much so fast to to Oracles if you're not paying attention. Units that burrow or cloak while under the effects of Revelation will once again be revealed after unburrowing and cloaking. Well, that makes sense. The Revelation is a spell that people have been saying for a while is going to be the next big thing that you're going to see out of Protoss using a lot of. It just reveals all the enemy units in a certain area, including buildings, and it follows them. So you can come up, hit a group of units like this with Revelation, and then you'll be able to follow those units everywhere and see where they're going. And that's quite valuable when a Protoss army generally has to kind of stick in a big clump. But what it's talking about with this, you know, burrowing or unburrowing, cloaking and uncloaking, is that if I cast Revelation on a Banshee and then it cloaks, it will no longer have Revelation on it until it uncloaks, and then Revelation will be there if the spell is still in effect. So this is pretty straightforward. That makes sense to me. Expansions, macro, mech. All about the mech. I gotta get people into my gases here. I'm playing mech. Should know that I can do a better job than that. So that's everything for the balance changes that were coming up from Blizzard there. And I think that, as I did in another video, they're pretty straightforward. They haven't changed much beyond what the anticipation was. I see that his army moved out here, so I'm pretty certain he's going to be expanding. Oh, actually, that was his scan. I just scanned the main. He scanned there to look for Widow Mines. Surprisingly, I don't use my Widow Mine play in this game. Because I generally love putting Widow Mines all over the map just to be able to deny things. Gonna go over, take another base. Mining pretty healthy right now. Blue Flame on the way. And I do have a medevac running across the map here for harass at some point. I do know that there is a missile turret here. I saw it with my medevac that got taken out. If we look at him here, he still hasn't got people back in this gas. That's the great thing about doing harass, is that people very often forget to remake workers. You can see that this mineral line is way undersaturated. This one's okay, but the guy could stand to use a lot more workers. This guy loves his scans. He scans everywhere. I have tanks in position, medevacs overhead, and I do have lots of Hellbats with blue flame about to finish. His units are 0-1, about to be 1-1. I have +1 on my tanks, +1 armor on the way. I'm surprised when he killed that SCV, he didn't realize that I was going to be expanding over here. So, we both see each other's armies. He doesn't have any medevacs here, though, and that's really crazy for me. I'm going to get my medevac out in the middle to get myself some range. So, he's not going to be able to move in there without me knowing it. But it's very, very weird that he's got this, you know, double starport here, but he's not getting out the medevacs. And it's very important, particularly if he wants to stim in and do some damage. He's not going to be able to do that. I leapfrog one tank forward, and it's going to let me take a few pot shots, kill off a free tank. Free damage. I do know that I have units in these medevacs. If I get bum rushed, I want to be able to drop them behind his army. We'll see I've done enough damage to push him away, and then I'll get massively supply blocked. Nope, just busted it. Another armory, more tanks, and lots of them there Hellbats. So economically, he's slightly ahead at this point in expansions. Worker-wise, I've taken the lead, quite happily, and I do have a planetary down for my third base. So I'm in a pretty good spot, I think. Good siege lines, Hellbats with blue flame. I do know that he moved to the south, so I'm going to reposition my mech. And during this whole game for me, playing mech as Terran now, it's really about just being super patient, knowing that it's about position, and I just don't want to get caught at the wrong time in the wrong place. So I have missile turrets. I don't scrounge on the missile turrets, because one drop that just gets behind all my stuff will just screw me over hardcore. Man, I still haven't taken these gases. I suck. I suck at Starcraft. And I'm over here producing more units. So he's got a good size army. It's about the same size as mine. I have a few more workers than him. Do scan, see where his army is at. So it's going to allow me to keep in good position here. These medevacs, once again, are just in position to drop on top of him if I need to. And here comes in my drop. I know I'm going to lose this medevac. That's pretty good. How much did I get there? I'm up to 14, so I got about another 6 or 7 kills. Unfortunately, I'm on hold position right now. I like how he rallied out more units. That's kind of funny. And there's nothing here to kill. So I'm denying mining for a long period of time. I probably didn't have to have those on hold position right there. Behind this, tanks, Hellbats, upgrades. And the really important thing about this exact moment for me is that I saw the Banshees. And he cloaked. What the hell? That was really weird. So now that I know Banshees are on the way, my mech is vulnerable right now. So you're going to see I'm going to start getting missile turrets. I have a giant bank of minerals because I haven't taken my gases because I suck at this game. But now I'm going to get down a tech lab so I can get out a Raven. And at the same time, I'm going to build more missile turrets just to be able to give me vision. And I'm going to start Thor production here pretty soon when I finally start getting some friggin' gas. Look, there's one in each one. And I make fun of the other guy for not taking his gases well enough. We both suck, buddy. It's alright. Oh, at this moment I am enjoying a Rock Creek cider. It is quite tasty. Haven't had cider in a while. I do enjoy my cider. He does have a fair amount of Banshees here. Enough to piss me off if he decided to try and take out some missile turrets. But it would be very unfortunate for him to do so. Planetary in place here. I'm in a pretty good spot. Oh yeah, right. I dropped some more Hellbats. Up to 26 workers killed. It's not bad. So in the actual, you know, economy sense of things, I've almost got double the workers from him. Thor is on the way. My +2 armor is about to finish. I do see that being attacked, and I repair it. It's not really worth it to go head-on-head against missile turrets in most cases. It's just, it's difficult. I'm taking a bit of a supply lead right now. I'm going to start bunching up my units here pretty soon. I know that he's got a very mild contain on me. He's got no mech upgrades and only one what? Didn't he get +1 attack? I guess not. Very, very bad upgrades for him. Whereas I've got Blue Flame and 2-1 in place. I drop out all my stuff because now I actually want to push out of my containment here. And I want to put the pressure back on him. Taking a bit of a hidden expansion. Wow, that... Whatever, that tank died super fast. Super fast. Ravens and Vikings on the way. When you're playing in the lower leagues, it's so common that people just get stuck on this thing like, oh, Banshee, he's going mech, he's not going to be able to deal with Banshees, and they just keep making those units. So therefore I wanted to have a lot of protection out against that, so I don't go for a big push and then just lose, because I didn't have the things I needed to in place to deal with it. Sieging tanks, leapfrogging him forward. Finally does have his medevacs out, but he's really not in position. Okay, now he's 2-1. Was I just high for a second there? I thought it said 1-0. Must have been high. Double planetary down here. And I do have this base as well. So economy-wise, I'm actually doing quite well. Now I've got enough stuff. My intention now is to go push. I'm going to go for the attack. If he wants to go and take on my planetaries, I'm actually okay with that. He's going to lose so many... Oh, my guys aren't repairing, you assholes. So I'm going to lose that, but now I'm just going to go attack him. It seemed like the relevant thing to do. Back at home, I'm going to siege up and go for the base trade. Tanks in good position, Ravens, Hellbats, missile turrets. I'm doing alright. I threw down a seeker missile at one point there. He's actually got units in there. What the hell? That's really funny. And yeah, so he's got these Banshees in place here. One does survive, but now at this point, I'm okay with going for the base trade. Even if I lose all this stuff, it doesn't matter that much to me. Back at home, I'm once again starved for gas because I haven't taken my gas. This base is dead. And then, well, I did take the gas here. So, lots of Hellbat production, Thors. Now it's just about I gotta kill as much stuff as I can as quick as I can. Lots of Banshees. He's wisely gonna go after my Thors, which I don't notice at the time. So in my mind, I actually have enough medevacs here that I might be able to even pull back, at least grab my tanks, but I'm almost certain this is all of his production. Unless I'm really like not getting it. I even put a sensor turret in this game, isn't that sweet? Unless I'm really not getting it, this is me trying to kill those Banshees. I'm like, wait, why is nothing attacking anything? Right, because I don't have anything that shoots up. So more Thors back at home. Man, I thought I had better upgrades than that in this game. What can you do? I do save the medevacs at least, because there's no reason for me to throw those away. If he did have hidden bases everywhere, I wanted those medevacs to be able to do drops. He's actually got a fair amount of money, and I think that's because a lot of his buildings got killed off, and that's all of the money returning to him from like units that were queued up that didn't finish. So medevacs heading home. Back at home, I've got Ravens out, 2 Ravens, Vikings, Thors. More command centers on the way. Double orbital. Another command center. Like, I'm doing fine. So we actually managed to do pretty good damage there. Now, I don't know what my opponent thinks of the position. I even built a planetary here just in case I get bum rushed again. I just don't know what my opponent's thinking at this moment. Like, he's down to 20 supply. He just lost all of his production. He killed one of my bases. He doesn't know I rebuilt this yet, but he killed one of my bases. And he knows that I have this base here and this base here, and all my production still. And I actually have an SCV down here that I went for a scout with, and I see it. That isn't funny enough. No, that guy dies. So I'm like, okay, well, the guy hit a base or two. Let's just go kill him. I've got such a great army here. Like, that's a pretty sick Terran army. It's not even maxed. But that's decent. And they've even got missile turrets everywhere. Thor's in the backup. Just in case. More starports as well. Barracks, everything. So I'm coming down here. Because I scouted all this stuff with my SCV. Coming down here. And I'm going to finish this off. I like how they're cloaked still. For whatever reason. Not that it mattered too much. I do have a pretty big air armada. I see him attacking me, and I don't... You guys are going to have to tell me, is this BM? At this point in this game, let me know in the comments down below. This is me at this point being like, I don't want to say like GG get out. I just kind of want to say like, look, I actually have a ton of stuff. I'm not maxed, but I know that he's in squalor. So I just want to say that he's far behind and you're not as close as you think. Now, if that's really BM, please let me know because I'm not that kind of person. Well, he says, GG. So it's one of those things that like I didn't want the game to go on to the last structure. I mean, this isn't like bronze where you're like, I've got an SCV, I'm gonna make it. Like, just look, dude, you're dead. Like, go and play your next game and go have some fun. So anyways, that was the whole game. A little bit on the updates from Blizzard. TvT featuring some Mech versus Bio. Hope you guys enjoyed that. SeKo Starcraft. Thanks very much for tuning in, and we will talk with you guys later.